Texas lawmakers are back in session, and some of the bills headed their way have to do with medical marijuana reform. One Cedar Park mother hopes her son's medical condition and his use of medicinal marijuana will help open eyes and minds as lawmakers debate the future of cannabis right here in Texas. Here's Darnisha Herring.
The idea that I would give my child, marijuana? Are you kidding? That's not something I came lightly to.
A tough choice for Carissa Barenblatt, but it was tougher to watch her then 5-year-old child suffer from multiple illnesses.
He has a rare disorder called Fragile X syndrome. He also has hydrocephalus, so he's had a couple of brain surgeries. He has a primary immune deficiency, and he also has epilepsy.
A lot for a child to take on. By the age of 5, Max Barenblatt was prescribed at least 15 medications, including anticonvulsants for seizures, Xanax, and antipsychotic medication.
So he was self-injuring, which is, as a mother, there's hardly anything more motivating than seeing your kids suffer.
The Cedar Park mother and her son traveled the country seeking advice. A specialist in Colorado suggested medical marijuana for her 5-year-old through a special program. It changed their lives.
He takes this medication and it gives me my child back. He's much more verbal, he's more conversant, he can tell me how he's feeling and what he's thinking about.
Max is 10 now. His medication list cut down to 4 prescriptions, including the medical marijuana he takes in oil form. Because his condition qualifies for the compassionate use program in Texas, Barenblatt said a year ago they started getting his oil from Texas Original Compassionate Cultivation, one of only 3 licensed medical marijuana producers in Texas. After seeing how her son was able to finally enjoy his life, Barenblatt, along with TOCC, are working with different legislators in hopes to expand who can get the medication.
Right? There shouldn't be if you have terminal cancer, then you qualify. But if you have stage 4 cancer, you don't. That doesn't make any sense.
Morris Denton is the CEO of TOCC. He said Texas has one of the most restrictive medical cannabis programs in the country. In order to get a THC prescription in Texas, you must be diagnosed with one of these conditions. There is also a restriction on the volume of THC in each dose of oil, which Denton said could make the oil difficult to digest and should be removed.
I know people, there are people in my family and in my life who would benefit from taking this medication as well and be able, as my son did, to leave behind some really challenging medications in favor of something like this that's more natural. And I would really love to see the legislature take some firm steps towards making this much more accessible to the millions of Texans who really could benefit from it.
In Austin, Darnisha Herring, KVUE News.
There are no fewer than 20 bills up for consideration regarding marijuana this legislative session.